Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome to the Saville Community Sports Center on the campus of the U of A in Edmonton. It's the finals of the Saville Grand Prix. We had 24 teams start this weekend, and we're down to just 2. So we have Youbeen Park versus Kaitlyn Laws. I'm Dave Schmel, along with Sean Joyce, Connor Sims on the production, and Sean, it's been a great weekend of curling.
It has been. It's been some outstanding shots, some outstanding games. I did want to point out one thing, given that you're from south of the border, when you say U of A, you do have to understand that is University of Alberta. It's a capital letter A.
Mhm.
It's not U of EH. We're never sure what you people believe from south of the border.
Oh, I believe it's I think a Frogtown Curling Club that has a sheet A, like Alpha, and also a sheet A, as in Canadian.
We're going to have some different camera views this game. Of course, we got access to all of them, and I do think they were having trouble with a couple of them earlier on. Somebody keeps jumping on the roof over top of one of them. I've had a few games where the camera was jiggling around a bit. They blame the HVAC, but I think somebody's jumping up there.
One answer I got is that the Ice Tech store is back there, and it kind of rattles the wall a little bit. So thank you, everyone joining us here on YouTube.
Well, the first stone of the end came deep, so that gave the Laws team a chance to play the corner guard. Now we've got a corner in the center, and we're still not through the first 5 rocks, so we might have some rocks in play here in the first end.
Yep, and we have Laws here with the hammer throwing those yellow stones. It's Kristen McCush.
Well, that's what our program continues to say. But if you look at the back of her jacket, it says Kristen Gordon.
Oh, well, then I stand corrected.
Now, if she really wanted to confuse us, and that doesn't take much, she'd have Gordon on the jacket and still have McCuish on the shirt. So when she takes the jacket off in the third end, then we'd really be messed up.
Oh, I agree.
I shouldn't put ideas like that out there. There are some people that would do that on purpose. I might be one of them if I'd have thought of it.
Well, we had the March Brothers wearing different colored gloves for a while, and then they stopped doing that. That was helpful.
We had another set of twins here in Saskatchewan on the women's side that were playing. They played with Sherry Anderson for a couple of years, but they played on their own through juniors and everything. And the 2 girls, and I think both are married now. I know for sure one is. Their maiden name was Fesser, and it was Krista and Courtney. So it was Fesser and K Fesser, but both Krista and Courtney were spelt with a K. So I'm not sure who they thought they were helping by putting K Fesser on one of the jackets. Maybe made it straight for the 2 of them, but it didn't help anybody else.
So now, going to open this up a little bit, make sure he has some breathing room. Clears that guard. Park's just going to tap the pile up a little bit, looks like. Team Park from Seoul, Korea.
Yeah, she's going to more than tap it with that broom. It wouldn't have made much sense to tap here in the first end. You're either guarding that and let them peel it again, or you make the play in the house and you're trying to get the force. You've got to kill that yellow. You want to keep everything away from the corner guard. It'd be tempting here to throw the center. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. You make the play in the rings, and the Laws team has a few chances to hit and roll behind that corner. It's only about a 3.5-foot roll. Now, if you do this too many times, Kaitlyn Laws will ignore it and go for a 2 that way. So we've got the cat and mouse game starting already in the first end.
So here's the second, Ji-Yoo Kim.
This is a long ways out yet.
It does have a long, long way to go. Be about a halfway guard.
Yeah, you could probably make some kind of play in the rings. Hard to move it clean by the yellow, so you're not going to want to throw a ton of weight. It's more about get the roll behind the corner, get the red out from in front of the yellow. You probably move the yellow back a little bit as well. That's okay as long as the red pops out in the open.
And both these teams are hopping right back on the horse after they each had very exciting semifinal games. We carried the Kaitlyn Laws game over Gim right here on Curling Stadium, and I'm still trying to bring my heart rate down a little bit.
They're on this right away. You don't want to be too close to the nose.
That is going to be past the guard, no problem.
Wants the roll, though.
Going to get the hit, get the roll, keep it moving. Oh, that's a beautiful roll, Sean.
Yeah, got it by their own clean and pushed it far enough to sit too. Now, they might have rolled a little too far or too steep because there might be a flat double there.
So they are going to look at that flat double.
Yeah, with that broom, I think this is coming with some speed, which is what you're going to need to make that double. Doesn't have to get the second one all the way out, but you'd like to sit 3 off it, so you got to put a shot almost out of the 12-foot.
Series Yunche Lee.
Yeah, they're trying to get this to curl. She needs to hit this
at
all.
That is straight through the uprights.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate there.
Yeah, it had to be full because the broom was on the rock. Yeah, normally you'd and that's what she's looking at. Normally you try to Christmas tree it, but even if you come right down to the yellow to Christmas tree it, you're leaving the double a little easier than it is right now because it is very flat right now. If she's trying to come right down to the face of the yellow like that, you might even be trying to move it back a few inches. Just so that then if you have to play the double off the top one, you can't get the triple, and there's a chance that the first one being up a little higher, you saw her glance over her shoulder at that red at the back. There's a possible jam there on the wide one.
So here's the first coming in from Negavan. Negavan's been calling the game for Team Laws for each of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they weren't actually trying to dead bury that, but they'll take it. It's still, I mean, it's tough. A lot of cases you'd play to the open side because you're just trying not to leave a double. Well, there's a double already there. They were trying to take the double away and not leave any kind of a triple. Didn't take the double away, but her shooter's in a good spot where even if the double's made, she's probably shot rock, buried. So three's still going to be alive.
So Park's gonna have them take on the double again.
Well, what she was just talking about, I'm not sure I don't know if she wants the double or the nose hit. The nose hit's not bad because you can't roll underneath again. The yellow's in the way. She might be thinking if we get the nose hit here, we got a better chance at a double on the next one.
Would make the angle a lot easier.
Well, and she might have the way to get either one of them. It just depends. Or maybe she was telling them about a plan B because this looks like the wait for the attempt at the flat double.
One, walk it on over. There's your double takeout. Well thrown.
Gets him out of a little trouble for now. You can see the sweep was on early. It actually needed to curl. Could have stood to curl up a little bit at the end. They got the back end of the second rock and that just ever so slightly on the back end of the second rock. That's why it came back a couple of inches after it made contact. It is second shot. The reason for the Park team that it doesn't really completely get them out of trouble. There's probably room here with the way it moves to the corner for Selena Negevin to come down with that quiet weight that she's throwing here and get just across the face, flop completely under cover on that corner, and now you're sitting two dead buried.
Just past the guard. And they do get...
Yeah, now what do you do? There's a piece of that, a thin piece.
That is buried as well as he could have. So do you think this is the way to completely kill it or just move it back a little bit?
No, she's trying to kill it and roll towards the center because she can't see very much of it. But it's going to be a hack to bumper somewhere in that neighborhood, I would expect, and a very delicate shot for the first end.
Absolutely. So here's Youbeen Park, the skipper. With her first delivery of the final.
It's got a lot of room.
It's going to make contact, but that's all it did.
That's arguably worse now because now it is dead buried.
So embarrassment of riches right now for Laws. Where do you go?
Well, she's looking at going to the open side, maybe in front of that red somewhere. Oh, she's actually going to hit it. And nothing wrong with this either. She's going to hit and try to roll to the back one, I would guess. So it would still be buried. And that brings 4 into play. She should be okay back there. As long as you're back there far enough that if they come back to it and make it perfectly, you're still drawing for 3, then I don't have a problem with this. And I think it would be that far back.
Going to leave Park with potentially like the only miracle shot being freezing to the nose of the shot rock.
Yeah, and even then, without the overhead, I'm not sure she'd be second shot. So it would be a draw for 3.
I think there's just enough room to be second, but it is tight. First things first, here's Laws.
Even if she hits this on the nose, she hits it on the nose and Park probably has to play it.
See the brusher's walking it down. Hit and stick there.
I think you have to play it, yeah.
make a hit and roll here, it's going to at least take 4 out of the equation. 4 is absolutely unacceptable. 3 isn't much better, but it's better than 4.
Yeah, by 1. That's what Connor would say. You look at where she's going to be when she makes contact. So the trailing edge of the rock is still going to be ever so slightly in front of the tee line. So as she rolls across, she can probably get this buried. Well, if she wanted to throw more weight, maybe full back 4. With that amount of berm, they're not going to throw this very hard, which means she's got to hit it a little thinner to roll that far, which means she's going to roll a little deeper, but she's probably going to still bite the 4-foot. There's not going to be a ton of room for Kaitlyn Lawes to come after it, but it's a real trick to get this absolutely dead buried.
Final stone for Park.
This needs to curl by the looks of it.
It's going to get there. You get lucky and come up off your own. Well, he did hang around, did kill the rock, but still going to be a draw for 3. So in the opening end, coming off a big win in the semifinals, where we had some fantastic shot making, will be Kaitlyn Lawes, just needing a little bit of the 8-foot.
And this is one of the other benefits to having that pregame practice. And in this particular game, because they had to draw for hammer, all of it would have been geared towards the middle. And this was the turn that they played. This was the side of the sheet they were playing. Or, pardon me, this was the shot she played for her draw. So that would have been going the other direction. But so much of the path to the draw to the button is still broken down, at least.
Final stone of the first end just needs the 8-foot. And the 8-foot she has, so that'll be 1, 2, and 3. Good start for Kaitlyn Lawes. Park will have the hammer when we come back from Saville right after this.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Welcome back to the final of the Saville Grand Prix from Edmonton. It was a big score, 3 for Kaitlyn Lawes in the first end. Dave Schmel and Sean Joyce and all of you, thank you so much for joining us here on Curling Stadium. So Park now has a hammer with the red stones. Going to try to generate some awesome. Laws just goes right in with the first one, of course.
Tough enough playing 3 games in a day, and the Korean team's been playing shorthanded. And during the break, I'm trying to go back and find out whether they've been playing shorthanded all weekend long or if they had an injury midstream.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen Park on the ice this event.
I haven't found all their games yet, but back to yesterday morning, I've still got them, or yesterday afternoon, I've got them shorthanded. You can see the player. I mean, she's here, she's behind the glass, but a lot of these international teams,
that looks like it picked, and that just made it over the hog line. Oh, we had a little bit of spillage of something. A hydration violation.
Mm-hmm. So many more things now I have to go back and check replays for. I'm trying to count players. I'm trying to see who spilled what.
We'll just blame it on Connor. It's much easier.
They are wiping it up with a towel, so I'm going to guess it's just water. If it was, valuable scotch, they'd be licking it up rather than you can't waste the good scotch.
That great Quentin Tarantino film saying there's a special place for people who waste it. So that one, Barry's undercover. Barry's undercover deep.
Yeah, that's fine, though. It's fine to be deep when you're coming around your own corner. You don't care if the Laws team wants to chase around there, and you like having room to get a second one. Not that you'll get to play it right away. This is the 5th stone, and after this one, they'll be able to try to do something with the rocks in the middle.
So they're liking the tight one here. Walking this one down, not really too engaged in it. The first one from Peterman. She's trying to lean it in. Gently encouraging.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, got it there.
And while we're watching that, I will tell you that over my left shoulder, the plot thickens. I see 4 players on the ice Friday, the Friday night draw. So, I don't know what happened yet, but she did start the event. If I can find anything to give me an indication as to why she might not be playing since then, I will let you know. I mean, if it's an injury, we certainly hope it wasn't that serious. She's here. You can see her behind the glass with the coach.
So on the 3 stone drill. Does look like it's Lee that is not playing. The 3rd. Because that was Kim on the brush there. So I solved that part. The rest of it's up to you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. Of course, I'd seen her in one other game, and it checking the footage, and it didn't occur to me to go back all the way to the start of that game. I mean, it could have been that game where she got injured. And again, we're just gonna you always hope that it's not bad. Well, maybe. I mean, this was Friday night too. Maybe she developed some kind of an illness, and she's just out precautionary wise. But
yeah, could have a 24-hour deal or 48. So where do you want to be right now if you're Laws? She's thinking top 12.
Yeah, well, and she's thinking top 12 because that red run is a red run double. So if you kind of get to the top 12, you can take away one way of making that. Talking about playing the split off their own to get both undercover. That's you can chalk that up to best result, but toughest shot. Or maybe that's what they're worried that that's the shot they need to protect is they didn't roll undercover. It's hard to throw a straight guard on that Yellowstone too, because with the two other guards out there, the really long one and the red, you can't play it from the out turn side, which is the way they'd normally throw it off center guard on that side. They'd come across center. Well, you can't do that. So you have to go really wide if you're going to try to plug the hole. I think they might be trying to split their own with that ice. Come down with, backline to hack weight, chip the Yellowstone that's in the open, roll behind cover, and that stone that they're going to push is going to come back towards the red. It's an aggressive call.
Like you said, it's wonderful if you make it.
Yeah.
So we're past the high guard. Got to hold it. This is looking to go down the middle. They chip it, and it's going to slide out the back.
Yeah, it doesn't really change much. I mean, it's pushed that rock a little bit wider, but the one in the middle still covered.
So Park looking to pop and flop underneath her own guard, and make Laws have to think about this now. So here's Jiyoon Kim. Ready to give this one a toss. This one's curling a little bit too much.
Very
but
quiet,
not bad.
though.
That's fine though. Yeah.
Yeah. With that quiet weight, yeah, she hit it thin and she rolls a little bit past the guard. Not that that's not the end of the world. Anytime you roll wider than a corner guard with the last rock, at least you forced the team that wants to play in the middle to come out wide. She's not getting back to the center line off this. You'd love to make the double. If the guard wasn't there, you'd be playing the double all day. If you feel like you have to throw this a little quieter to negotiate the guard, it's tough to get the second one all the way out.
So what's the easier shot, Sean?
Well, I mean, if you hit it on the nose with quiet weight, I think you're sitting two when you stuff it at the back.
This appears to be not the quietest.
Well, it's not going to be big weight out
No,
here. No, it'll be quiet because all the movement's late. Well, even that was maybe more than I expected they were going to be throwing, and you see they've already jumped on from the offside.
Yeah, it looks like it got set just a touch, but now look at that turnover and come on in.
Yeah, she got a sliver.
Yeah, they will move it back, and they lie too.
Sliver to the inside, which is for sure enough.
So looking for the run and roll, I believe. Beautiful
Yeah.
crab. Beautiful crab walk. That was excellent form.
She can see enough of the guard to just run it straight back, nut it in behind cover. She'll take that and she'll worry about how to deal with that other yellow later on if she gets a chance to bring the third point onto the board.
So here's Kim. Yang is on it. Oh, just wicks on the guard, and that's an unfortunate miss.
Yeah, but now do you loop another one around, or do you have to guard that run back?
I think you almost have to guard the run back.
Yeah, maybe. She's got a 3-point lead. She doesn't really want to play any more guards, but if you leave her the run back and she makes it, she's still in pretty good shape to get 2, at least.
You think if you throw the guard here, does Team Park move to just trying to draw some in and use all the cover?
Well, and she might.
So here's Negavan. This one is not heavy. It's going to be just fine, though. Lots of distance there. Let's see what the choice is. Tough, Sean, to not leave a guard, right?
Yeah, there's so much distance between them that to try the double run, she's going to have to. Yeah, I think she might be looking at the double on the yellows.
Or she runs that yellow in, she'll generate enough angle.
Well, yeah, you could, but if you don't make the run doing that, it's already buried.
That's whatever is the lesser of two evils. These are two very difficult shots, really. I mean, obviously, clearing off the yellows is the most straightforward of them. Might be an instance where you try to play it and have them both lined up in your head.
Yeah, my suspicion is here that they want to play the double on the yellows, and I think I like it better than to try that long double run. Because there's a couple of things that you get out of that. First of all, it opens up the red run back again, so she's got to cover it. And the way this ice curls, if the long guard's not there, you could probably make a play at the shot stone with quiet weight. So you get rid of these two yellows, and then Kaitlyn Lawes, really, she's got 2 shots she wants to take away. She wants to take away the direct play with quiet weight and the run back, which means, and you could do it with what rock, but it's going to have to be a lot more precise.
So they are going to clean them up, spill them all. Your move, Kaitlyn. Interesting call here, I think, Sean.
Well, this is one of the options to try to take both shots away, so you do have to be a little careful.
See, having that early 3-shot advantage. But you still have to be careful here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you come in to take away the run back as well as take away the direct path. There is a chance you leave the triple. It is tough to take away both shots being well out in front. I think you can, but it's tough.
So here's Kaitlyn Laws. And it's going to come all the way down to the nose.
That actually worked out okay because there's no triple off that. And even if you run the redstone back and nut it, which is the best result for you, you're not shot rock.
You have to jiggle it around just don't you?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything good happening from this turn with a draw. You might still have to play the run. You could try the run double, not the double in the middle, coming off that one on the 8-foot onto the one at the side. And then hopefully your shooter rolls off just far enough that you can see the rock in the rings. And then it's a problem for Kaitlyn Laws. Again, do you guard it or do you take away the run back? Or when you can't do both of those, do you have to come into the house somewhere and try not to leave a double? Now, you'd still have to make the run back. Don't get me wrong. That's not a gimme. But I'm not sure I see anything good coming out of this one. This to me looks like you're playing a pretty difficult shot just to leave something that's relatively simple if you make it.
First to 2 for Youbeen Park in the second. Not even touching it, Sean.
Yeah, no, this has got a curl and it's got to slow down.
Well, it is stone number 2.
Yeah. Let's cut the damages. It probably means that Kaitlyn has to make a play towards it, which is going to leave the shot in the middle.
And we think the guard's out of the way enough for the intern?
I think probably.
Because from what we've been seeing, that's about where the break point is. So I'd agree with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like just straight drawing here, but I mean, if you come up short, so be it. She's still going to have to draw around the other side. You have to play this side because you can't just leave her the same shot to come down to her own. As much as it's a tiny spot that she's been playing to, she just threw it. Oh, that question might have been, I wasn't sure what they were talking about on the yellows, but if you don't kill it, if you just stay on the T line, can she see enough of the yellow? I don't think she can to make the triple, because if you don't kill the red one, if you end up sitting right basically where she's got the broom tapped down, if you could hit the center line side of the top yellow, it's possible all 3 yellows go around that red, but I don't think there's any way you're holding the shooter with that. I don't think they can see enough of the top one. She's going to hit the back one, though. I like this call better anyway. she's still got the same draw if she wants to play it, but she's got no backing.
Yep.
And it is playing to a very small piece of the forefoot. I'm not even sure positive that she can get enough forefoot to score around that side. I kind of get why she was playing it on that one. You play it on that one, and you know that Kaitlyn has to do something with that rock, so you've got the bigger path to the button. You got more forefoot to try to score in with your last one. As long as you were close on the first one, you were always going to have more room on the second one. But
so here's Kaitlyn Laws with her second.
Doesn't need to stay, certainly doesn't want to stay right there. She's going to want to roll broom side.
And big broom side if possible.
Yeah, she might like to stay for fourth. She won't be heartbroken that she didn't, but
yeah, for my cup of coffee,
wow. I still don't like this. I mean, you're drawing such a small piece of the forefoot. Look at the hack end. Can you see enough by the yellow to get half a rock into the forefoot if you're right on the tee line? And then look at where the shot stone is. It's half a rock in the forefoot. So it's just debatable from this side whether or not she can even get enough of the forefoot to score. She must feel that corner guard's in the way.
It's certainly close.
Or she just really likes her out turn, and you can laugh about that, but there are some players they're just so much more comfortable with one turn over the other. That's a real thing.
There's a certain multiple time Briar winner that's that way. Okay, the line's pretty close here.
Yeah, it's gonna
just needs to stop. Does it stop? Final stone. Is it good enough? Now it cuts it down to. It might be good enough. That's really close, Sean.
It is, and we've talked about this for 2 weeks now. When you get a yellow rock and a yellow ring, it's always there's that little bit of an optical illusion. Makes it tougher to tell for us.
I think we're going right to a measure here. I think red is good enough there. All right, the polls are open. Get your votes in. They didn't even hesitate to get the stick there.
Look at how much that moved at the end. I mean, she came around that Yellowstone, and she's buried on it at the back of the forefoot.
All right, see if we can get eyeballs on this. Look at that great camera work. All right. It is red. So Park makes that heroic draw to hang around here. We'll be back after this.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Welcome back, and really an early game saver there for Park, Sean.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was one of those situations. You're playing a draw like that. It's hard to only give up a steal of one. You're probably either getting your single point or giving up at least two. And a couple of things about it. First of all, great draw, but also look how much that, if we're the end of the third day after these rocks were conditioned, look how much that finished. I mean, she came by that stone half in the forefoot at the top, and at the back of the forefoot, she's dead buried. If Kaitlyn Park would have had another rock to throw, she still couldn't have gotten to that stone.
No, I think that's...
Or, pardon me, Kaitlyn Laws. I'm getting... It's a long bond spiel for me, too.
No, absolutely. That was a real credit to the ice crew and new chief ice maker at Saville this year is Cody Hall. It's a great job by them. Him and his squad, because you certainly don't run a 10-sheet facility on your own. And if you did, you probably would need some sun lamps or something, because you'd never be outside. So now, Laws, you have to make sure you still feel good after this, in your headspace. You got a 2-point lead. You're probably licking your chops thinking, man, I got him, but just go back to where you were, right, buddy?
Yeah, you've got the 2-point lead. You got the hammer back. You've had the pressure on all the way through. You got your 3 in the first. Forced a really good shot for 1. I mean, it happens. You play a whole end like that, trying to just force the single. Realistically, you achieved your objective. If they can continue to keep putting the pressure on, I wouldn't be shocked to see them score another 2 or 3. They have certainly controlled the play in the house through the opening 2 ends.
Talking about the curl, you saw the broom all the way out in the edge of the 12 for this shot. It's a little bit toastier than they would have liked, but it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think she got to the inside of it a slight bit. She did, so that it's angled for the yellow to go by the red deeper in the house. But that was the 5th stone. Time to peel the guard. Make you feel more at home. Time to make the donuts.
Yes, our Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't know that we ever had that chain in Canada, but we've seen the commercials.
Okay. What was the guy's name?
Did they give his name?
Oh, yeah. His name is Fred. Fred was the guy who made the donuts. Speaking of donuts, I still remember the time I was working with Hans Frohenlob, and we were doing English language commentary on an event in Japan off of their feed. And 4th end break, they cut to the announcers, and in the booth, the announcers had a big container of Timbits. Don't know if Tim Hortons has any locations in Japan. Now I will have to investigate that.
Need to split center here. They want to take away the yellow run back as well. I think that'll be good.
That does look pretty good indeed.
Yep.
You see that setup there in the long shot.
Left themselves the outside of the red that they could run in and kill the 2 yellows later. It's not the most urgent shot for them to play, but
so we're going to have some pepper coming at this one.
Yeah, hard to not leave the yellow up there for a guard if they make what they're calling. But the top 3 in the house aren't helping them. And the easiest way to do something about that, run this pretty much straight back, and you can kill 3. You'll lose 1 of your own, but that frozen rock in the pocket, causing them a little bit of a problem.
So on the way from Peterman. Not a bad outcome.
Yeah, it's a pretty good result. She caught the second one very, very thin. So it's actually the raised stone that caught the yellow. She didn't catch the yellow that was right behind the red stone. And by doing that, the shot stone is partially exposed. And that yellow where it rolled out to, I mean, you could come off it, I guess, if you had to. It's probably a stone that Park's going to play off of and try to roll underneath and sit too. But shot stone's still going to be exposed. She's thinking about drawing cold. That's not horrible. Hard to get second, but you'll leave it on an angle where it becomes, you Christmas tree it again. You hear us talk about that so often. It becomes really risky to go after the one on the button because if you ever clip it, it's going onto the yellow.
So which of those 4 choices do you like?
I don't mind this. If you were sure you could get to the inside of the open yellow and flop undercover, I like that too, because it would be up a little higher. Yes, they're going to make the play on shot rock, and you expect them to make it, but you could still be buried. I guess actually there's a way, even if you over curl on this one, as long as you get full 4 foot so that you're shot rock or second shot rock, then if they make a play on the shot rock, you're still sitting one buried. Got to get by not just the guard, but that stone at the top 12.
We're past the guard, coming up to that one on the top 12, and we're going to park ourselves, no pun intended, right next to it. There we go. Megan Edwards, super fan here, tells us there's Tim Hortons in China, Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia.
Too much distance between them to be sure, but if you hit this yellow right on the nose, it's going to be close to getting the double on the reds.
I think I see just a sliver of daylight there. Marcel was trying to see if he could see a sliver of daylight.
Playing it from the intern. If anything, you want to just ever so slightly come across the face. I think if you're trying to get them both. Now straight back will get the top red one, and that's the critical stone. But
so here from Negavan, we haven't touched this one yet. It's just going to be a straight peel.
Just given the way that was thrown, maybe that was what they decided to call at the end. There's nothing wrong with that when you're up 2.
So debating the guard, debating bringing another one in.
Well, I don't think she's looking at bringing one in. I think she's worried about what the options are. Like Laws has 2 ways to double that stone off the button. She can run the yellow in. She can run the red in. It's hard to guard both of them with one shot. Talking about running the red onto the yellow. She'd roll off. She'd sit 3 in the rings, but only sitting 1 shot, and it might not be buried after that. You need that red to spin back to cover the shot rock. I think they're going to opt for the guard. The one that I didn't see them talk about, and she did talk about the yellow on the side, but you could, if you wanted to play aggressively right now, try to corner freeze on that yellow stone in the 4 foot. And then if she does make the little run in, You could come off your own, the frozen stone. You have to make it, but certainly been an interesting game so far with the angles that have been left behind.
Yeah, both teams all weekend have kept the rocks in play.
Yeah, well, if she was worried about the yellow run, it's still going to be there. I don't think Laws plays it yet.
Looks like she's inclined to do something about the one just thrown.
Well, the triple on the reds is still there. And actually, to go after it now, to make it, you roll it off to the left side as we look at Kaitlyn. You're going to hit it just slightly off center on that side.
Well, they got a little something to talk about, a little something to figure out.
They're thinking about the run. I mean, the nice thing about the yellow run, it's kind of queued up. Queued up in the sense that if you try coming by those two reds, you got to come by them tight. But if you get by the reds, I don't think there's any way you can over curl. So you're either making the run back or you're crashing guard, which peels one of the guards. So there's not really a bad result if you play it. It's really still a very tough shot. If you ever hit it too thin, you could pick it across everything, and then they're going to hit and roll under and sit 3.
I mean, I guess one danger with the yellow run is leaving a double back.
Yeah, well, no, because if you stuff it, the one you're stuffing is going to be higher and buried, so you can't really make the double off it. You could definitely hit off the one on the outside and roll to the button. I still like this. There's a couple of good options here, even if you just double the reds and miss the third one. And there's not a lot of room between them this time, so the angle's good for that. You'll roll your shooter slightly off the center line. That's a bit of a backwards motion. This is going to have to curl. Well, it's coming. It's coming.
So here's Negavan. Just a straight peel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they went to plan B after she gave it that little bit of a pop, and they didn't want to pick it onto their own stone.
So second verse, same as the first.
Well, at some point in time, they were always going to have to make a play in the rings. So the question is, do you play it as the hit and roll, or do you play the freeze?
Hit and roll seems to be the first guess.
Yeah, the problem with the hit and roll is that yellow run's still there, and if she makes it, it could just as easily be a hit and roll double or a run back double as a run back single. This might be one where when you roll in, you don't want to roll in very far. Just get about a quarter of it underneath. Enough that Kaitlyn can't come in off of it again.
Parks first or the third? On this one, coast to coast. Great brushing to hold that one there. They lie 1-2.
They do. You know, at the very least, they've forced a tougher shot now.
I don't think there was a shot available that said, hey, I'm stealing all day.
No, for sure, but there is a chance she stuffs this back and kills them both. Now, maybe it spins out in the open when she does that, too. I wouldn't want it to roll quite that far myself. I mean, you had to get by. You can't be that fussy, but... The one that just rolled over is a little bit higher, so if she touches it first onto the second one, it may well spin out into the open. that amount of broom, I don't think she's throwing this hard. So she may not be trying to kill them both. She might be just trying to stuff it on the shot stone for now. Roll the shooter off and then have what is currently the second shot stone would be the shot stone likely after this. Would be accessible for her last one. There's a couple of ways she can get at it.
So here's Kaitlyn Laws from Winnipeg, getting ready to deliver her first rock of the third end. This is very tight to the guard, very tight to the guard, very tight to the guard. Hit it, trapped it, and oh, that's an interesting outcome.
Yeah, it worked out for her.
You see him on it coast to coast there.
Yeah, just the little redirect off that stone on the red because she needed to be slightly on the outside of the yellow anyway, so it gave her the right angle to push the yellow back, and the bonus is it gets that red off the top of the yellow stone a little bit. Park could make a play to get it out of there, but hard not to leave a double back. Not still just going to be for one. The easiest double is to come off her own shot stone into the side of the yellow and kick it all the way across.
Does that ever leave you the triple for two?
I can't imagine she I mean, triple to stay there to stay? I don't think so. Well, you're looking at the straight back and the wick on the first one. The danger is playing that you could very easily go up a steal at two, and I don't think she's going to risk that. I think what they're looking at is could you make the run on the red
straight
push
back now,
push the yellow right through the port of the two yellows, sit three. The problem is you're rolling off, so she's still going to have.
If I ever, you got to be careful. You got to leave it a few of yours in play.
Yeah, well, there's no way to get rid of it. There's no way to take every shot away.
Yeah.
Actually, if you run this, so she's looking at. Where's my telestrator, Jerry? Where's my telestrator? If you run the red back, stuff it on the yellow in the forefoot, shooter's going to roll over a little bit. I guess you're probably sitting four, but three in the forefoot, those are the ones that matter. And I'm not sure, like the shot rock, the one that's currently biting the button, or what would be the shot rock if you make this little run, if you hit it on the nose, I'm not sure you'd be shot rock. I don't know if you'd be shot rock again. If you hit the one on the, trust me, I'm circling it. There's just no telestrator. If you hit the one, the redstone that's biting the button on the nose, I'm not sure that your shooter would beat out the one that's at the back of the forefoot. It'd be close. We might have another measure coming if these two shots are made like that.
Well, we're off to a very interesting start here.
Gonna throw this fairly quiet. She'd like to hit it just a sliver high, and with the quiet weight, she might be able to keep her shooter in the way too. A little bit, anyway.
On the way from Park, Yang picks it up right away. A little more gentle now. Still trying to bring it. Gonna make contact with the top one. Onto the yellow, right through the hole. Well played team shot right there.
Yeah, she's got room to roll in off the shot stone, but that's all she's got.
Just about the best you could do, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you could hit it, the first one, just ever so slightly thinner to get across the top of the yellow a little bit more, and then she can't really get to the inside of the shot stone. But, you know, you do that, you're not covering it at the top, although, you know, she can't really hit that stone and get shot rock. Yeah, needed to hit it just a sliver thinner, go across the top of the second or the shot stone a bit, just to cover that. It's I still think she's got to get to the inside. I'm not sure she shot rock with a nose hit. Anything to the inside will do it.
Absolutely. So facing at least 3. Kaitlyn Laws with the final stone of end number 3. Needs to get just a little bit to the inside. Now trying to carve it over just a touch. It is coming over. It's going to be on the inside. And
Boy, they might have lost it.
Skitter too far? No, it's going to hang on. So it's a score of 1 for Laws. She has a 4-1 lead after 3. We'll be back from Saville right after this on Curling Stadium.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Back with the 4th end, a single point for Kaitlyn Laws in what was a thrilling series of shots, Sean.
Yeah, the angles were very interesting for much of that end, and all of it in the forefoot. And, you know, we've said this before. You get 3 or 4 rocks touching the forefoot, usually somebody's going to score 1. And fortunate for Kaitlyn, they actually, about the hog line, they switched to get that to curl and almost over curled it. She almost rolled too far.
So Park is hanging on in there. Now she has the hammer in end number 4.
Well, and for the Park team, at least they finally had some pressure on. All the pressure in the house through the first 2 ends, it was Laws putting pressure on Park. And that one, at least she made her look at 4. They had some good angles in the forefoot, good angles through the house through most of that end. That might be something they can build off psychologically.
So the guard coming up. So the Park squad has to feel good about that end. Really fighting through, making good shots.
Yeah, and they're going after it here in the 4th. They're throwing the double corners, opposite sides.
Game on, let's go.
Yeah.
So Here comes Peterman.
I think you kind of have to make a clear decision here, and that's what they would have discussed. We can't hear them. Maybe the people at home can. There are mics on the cameras. I know you can hear a little bit of the ice noise. Should tell everybody when they're wondering what we're talking about. We can't hear that production feed. So if you can hear the players, good for you. Maybe tell us what they were talking about. But you had to make a decision before you threw that. Are you guarding the rock in the house, or are you trying to line up the two guards? The danger in guarding the rock in the house, and there's good separation, so that's great. But you've left angle where if she wants to play all three yellows, there is a shot to do that. Now she's down down 3 with last rock, and she's kind of made a commitment here to play some offense. I can't imagine she's going to try. Well, she's talking about it. The danger in trying to play the triple is you could lose the shooter. And if you ever happen to peel just one guard and lose the shooter, then Kaitlyn Laws gets to decide, are we going to let them play the end they want, or are we going to peel a guard? But boy, if you ever make all three of them go here, you're in a great spot. In this end, you'd have 3 guards all off the center line, nothing left in the middle to clean up.
This one coming with a good amount of pace. Got the one, just shimmy over a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't really open anything up, though. At least if you roll to the corner with that, it's still another rock that you might be able to potentially use later. Right now, it's a rock that's in your way later. Choices here for the Laws team, really. It's either you're peeling a corner guard or you're trying to come into the house and put more pressure on. Because the corner guards are on opposite sides, you can't really peel both of them. So all the discussion is about putting the pressure on in the middle, and I like that. Attempting to come in, that last suggestion might be that they're going to throw another guard on the center line. And you certainly can. Nothing wrong with this. I mean, Park's got to play some double peels. You've got her wasting rocks out front. She's got no chance to set up offense. You do this as long as you can.
On the way down, just looking to leave it up there high.
That took a hard move at the end. She could probably get at shot rock if she wanted to. Through a lot of the games earlier on through the weekend, I've been trying to read lips. Even if I could read lips here, it's not going to help me. I'd like to know whether she's... I mean, they're discussing the two options. You could play it with enough weight, and certainly with that long guard, you could still get to it. Play with enough weight to kill the yellow and try to roll to the corner.
Certainly.
Which is probably your best result, because you might get Kaitlyn to play away from the center line for now. If you're going to try to get to the yellow one and stay underneath the centers, I think you almost want to flop underneath a little farther, which also still there, but then you have to throw it quieter. You saw her indicate back 8 foot weight. I still don't think they're set. They're still talking about both shots. If you're trying to roll all the way behind the corner, you have to throw hack, because that's a long roll. I think I tend to like the hit and roll better myself. You play the hit and roll, even if you don't get all the way behind the the guard, you're going to come deeper in the house, maybe your T line, let's say. And then if Kaitlyn Laws plays the hit and roll back behind cover, well, now she's back of the 4 foot and you've still got room to work with. That does not look heavy.
They are pounding it hard. It's going to be on the top guard. Unforced error.
Yeah, I mean, it moved the guard. It's not the end of the world. But didn't come very close to giving themselves a chance to make the shot there.
I mean, you have to feel like you're in a good position for a force right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in a steal position right now. That stone is definitely good enough to steal with, especially with the guard situation out front. But it's how do you take everything away? And they're looking now at, let's get the guard a little wider. Of course, the last one over curled, so they're going to try to come across the center. The issue that you have here is with where that long red guard is, you're going to have to get just by it. You know, if you're ending up halfway, you need to get just by it. If you over curl playing this guard, you still leave the same shot you just played. You want to get just fully across center, I think. Maybe an inch or two more than that. That's it. You leave a port, and she'll play it.
So Youbeen delivers her first.
Still all over the red.
It's coming over now. It's off of it.
Now they need it to stop before it leaves the port. That's what I mean about how hard those rocks curl. That ended up in a perfect spot.
It's a very patient call, very disciplined call.
Yeah, it's hard on the nerves to watch the line on a shot like that. She almost hits the red guard and then still almost over curls. Like they just walk at the end. And that's what they saw with the one previous. They actually were hoping it would stop, and it over curled, gave the park team a chance to play the quiet wait. Now they crashed, but the opportunity was there.
So here's Kim. That's all right.
I was going to say that's why you've seen all weekend long when the teams are trying to get a guard just a little bit off the center line, they're coming across center to do it because you just can't stop them from curling as they're coming into the middle at the end. So.
Sometimes I feel like that's almost easier, but that's just me. Oh, almost got a bonus on the way by. Nice shot, though.
Still a pretty good shot. She moved both guards. Could have used this earlier in the end. I mean, they're running out of time a little bit. They still could just throw the guard on shot stone, and I don't think you're running that yellow in. And the red's a long run.
Would have to channel Youbeen, who made in the semifinal about a 17-foot angle raise, if not more. Probably one of the best shots I've seen all season thus far. Youbeen's going to look for a nice one here.
She'd probably like to just touch the center line here. Even if you split it, you're okay.
Now here you see it puts on the turn signal.
Yeah, be careful. You got to be careful not to jump these too early because it won't stop curling at the end. Oh, that's really well managed. That's a good shot.
So she's going to play one of them. It's just debating which one. Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's debating which one she's looking at. There's a couple of ways
red.
this can work out. She's running the red. If ideally they want to get it right to the yellow stone that's in the top of the 4 foot, but if the miss on this one is hit the first one a little bit thin and get the double peel. And what I can't tell from that camera angle, and this would not be the best of luck, is there room to make the hit on the red and put it between the two yellows without touching either one of them? And it might be.
Well, here it comes down from Kim. Needs to come up a little bit. It's going to be on the top one just thrown. Still not bad.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's really hard on this ice with these rocks and the late finish to guard that stone with one rock. You've got to come tighter for sure, and then there might be a run through available.
So there you see the smattering of guards. But lots of room in the middle.
You've pretty much got to be dead lined up to it now. They're talking about splitting the line, but I think that leaves the port on the outturn side.
So she's taking the broom all the way, almost the edge of the 12 foot. Kaitlyn Laws with her first.
Yeah, this will be a good example too. On ice like this, to guard an existing rock, it's not easy. They curl so hard at the end. It's so easy to over sweep these by a couple of inches, and then they take that last little turn, and now all of a sudden you're 2 inches into the open. This is a tough rock to manage. They did a great job on the last one. They got to be a little more precise yet with this one.
Good thing it's a little bit heavy because it needed that extra time to curl.
Yeah, left the port though.
And now you're going to be able to roll underneath that phalanx of guards.
Yeah, you hang it on anywhere, it's going to be buried.
So Park with the takeout, trying to get a little roll underneath cover. Off and on. Pretty close. Gotta get past the guard. Oh no! Well, can you spin it under? Spin it under. Ooh.
Well, the saver there is that you did get into the rings, so Kaitlyn's going to have to make a play on it.
Oh, I thought that was going to come up, buddy. I really did.
Yeah, well, it's tough to call the line on those because you're coming through a port, and we joke about it. We've seen it times where you've got one line caller calling the inside guard and the other one calling the outside guard. I think they might have both been calling the inside guard on that one because it was just outside the hog line when they realized that's still on the outside guard.
So as mentioned, Laws is going to make a play on the rock just thrown. Can't leave it out there.
No, she's got to roll into the rings to sit two. If she hits it right on the nose, it's a blank, or at least an attempt for the blank. Even if she gets the roll into the top of the 12 foot, because the back end of her stone won't be in, there might be a chance to play the double for the blank.
Just some hard housekeeping here. Gonna get it and roll on in. So it will be the force.
Yeah, she's got the same shot to try to score one. Or she could play the over-the-top double to try to blank. And I think psychologically the temptation here is always to play the shot for one. It looks easier. But I think that's a... it's not easy by any means. We just saw it.
Mm-hmm. But I think, if you throw the double, there's a good chance of leaving the shooter anyway.
Well, you're going over the top, I think, to make the double. So you're rolling out. You're talking about straight back. You're scoring one if you go straight back. I'm thinking if you're playing the double, you're playing it over the top and roll the shooter out. But then there's danger. Danger you don't hit the second rock at all when you're playing it like that.
Absolutely. Final stone of the fourth end, facing two. Youbeen Park. Trying to walk this one over, not trying to make the same mistake twice. Now this one looks like it's got it no problem. Well thrown by the skipper. She gets her single. We'll be back after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
We would like to take a moment here on Curling Stadium to honor the memory of David Owen. David, along with Maggie Wilson, was a driving force behind Curling Stadium in Europe. David was taken from us far too soon after a brief illness. An avid curler himself, David represented Scotland at the 2003 World University Games, and most recently hoisted his club's trophy along with his son. I had the opportunity to work side by side with David at the World Junior Championships in Cortina, Italy. And I could tell in 30 seconds he was a good one. We share in sorrow for his longtime partner, Maggie Wilson. It was David's wish that Curling Stadium Europe continued on. We will honor that legacy. Rest easy, buddy. We salute you, and we will do our best to live up to your example.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Owen, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
And welcome back to the finals of the Saville Grand Prix from the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton, Alberta. Single point for Park to cut the lead to 2. Laws has the hammer, playing in end number 5. And we're joined here by a member of the Curling Stadium executive team, John Benton. Hello, John.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
It's going well. We've had some great curling all week, but we lost one of our own, and it's not easy.
It isn't. That was a nice tribute there at the break, and it's nice to have a chance to talk a little bit about my friend and partner. We're a pretty close-knit team here. Everybody with Curling Stadium Europe, like we're all curlers, and so to say that David and I were fast friends, which is what I've been saying, it's not uncommon in curling. It's just that David was a pretty special guy, and I knew right away, as you did, that he was a hard worker and a very dedicated guy. But beyond that, he just had passion for technology and for the game of curling. Was involved in Scotland in a lot of different ways. Helped us with our fourth facility. Fourth curling stadium was actually in Dumfries, Scotland, and that's where it all started. And we would spend a lot of time just talking technology and how to make these shows better, make the system better. And I'm already missing that so much. So I just think it's great that we can take a little time to honor him.
Absolutely, and that's to your point right there in our tribute we had. Just looking for some clean audio.
Yeah, we're always fighting with audio, and anybody who does this for a living knows that audio can be a big problem. But that was one of David's big things. So it's been a tough week, and I've been in touch with Maggie almost every day, and she's doing surprisingly well given the circumstances. And like you said in the tribute, his wishes were that Curling Stadium Europe is going to move forward, and that's the plan. Understandably, we don't know what exactly that means right now, but we're gonna try and do our best.
Yeah, I met him because I was already traveling to the World Juniors, and then was teamed up with David and Maggie and Fraser Shaw, all three being Scottish. And my first thing was, how do I, with my Philadelphia accent, communicate with these folks?
It ended up not working out too bad. I of course ended up flying on an emergency because they both got food poisoning when they got there. Both David and Maggie did. So I hopped on a plane to Italy, and
I left Venice a day early to get up there.
Yeah, so it was. I got to spend some quality time with you and them, and you seem to be communicating just fine.
Well, there's always a way. There's some universal things, and my most fun task of that was trying to make sure none of that clean audio involved words that we didn't want going out.
Exactly. Gotta have that mute button, which with streaming, you don't necessarily have the kind of time you do in broadcasts. So
That's a real benefit to us all being curlers. You could kind of feel it coming.
yeah, anticipate it.
'Cause, so you see here, Park setting up the guard in front of her, two in the rings, one in the back, four for Laws. And so, like, what was it first? Chicken or egg? Did Dumfries contact you to start?
Yeah, they actually reached out to Jerry, and we were just in our infancy, and I was honestly still testing a lot of gear and trying to figure out what the standard was going to be, for the setup in these clubs. And David jumped right in, and we started working right away to try and build out the solution for them. And it was a great help and a great partnership from the very beginning.
And of course, Curling State Europe carries so many events over there and making a lot of those competitive events available for streaming.
Yeah, the folks in Sterling, or in Aberdeen, sorry, Tom Brewster has been a big supporter, and obviously with World Curling being there, and there being a number of World Curling events, obviously in Europe, having our solution there really gave World Curling an option that they hadn't had before, and so that's been a great partnership with World Curling, Scottish Curling, British Curling now. So it grew fast, and it meant that we had to be on top of our game. And I don't know if you've ever had anybody that you worked with where you kind of just clicked immediately, and it was one of those kinds of things where I hardly even had to say much, and David or Maggie would say, "Oh yeah, we have a fix for that," or we were thinking of doing this, and they were always just ready to go, and I think that's going to continue with Maggie, but it happened so quickly, and it was great to have David there as another technological brain to make it go from such a long distance. It would have been hard for me to manage all that from here. So,
And very quickly here, I mean, it's got to be a bit of an end for Team Park. They have those two, and that halfway guard is there, and you see Negavan and Laws having a conversation. Now, you might be able to run that top one in and kill both reds, but you're probably going to leave a guard. Wouldn't be the worst with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to do it. Again, if you send it back to the left as we look at it right now, you might be able to get your shooter off. You might not get both rocks out of the rings, but you're going to get that center line open.
So that's what they're going to start with. Negavan
trying to hold it.
That's going to come up a little bit, just be a straight peel, miss everything in the rings. So we're probably going to come right back, and yes, we will. So yeah, I mean, you could just tell that he really had a passion for the sport. I mean, when we weren't working in live production, he was just sitting there being a rink rat watching every stone.
Oh, for sure. And he, was obviously very, very into, supporting all the teams from Scotland and paying attention to what they were doing. And,
absolutely. We had some friendly moments when Team USA was playing against them.
Exactly. See if this guard gets back.
Yeah, you put it back, it's going to be... Laws is going to have to most likely come after it again. I mean, they are going to have room on the one side for a draw, but it's not going to be drawing to much. Don't overcurl it.
Really well thrown.
Yeah, still pretty good. Now you have a bit more of an angle to work with, but not much, John.
Not much. I don't know that you have much of a choice but to go after that again. I mean, you can try and get to that rock in the top 4, but I'm not sure it does you a whole lot of good.
Well, with Sean stepping away for an end, I would tell you he doesn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, let's say they get to that rock there at Kaitlyn, like, and then Park just throws another guard. Like, I'm not sure. I think you have to move that guard. And the way that overhead looks with the stagger, you don't really have a shot to get shot rock.
Yeah, Park gets to throw another one, and if you leave a stagger, she could wrap it around on you too in line 2.
Yeah.
And then now you're drawing for 1 against 2.
You might be thinking, you get around on this one, and you might be running a red guard back to get a couple. At least create the threat of getting a couple, and limit them to just stealing 1.
So Kaitlyn Laws settling in for her first of 2 stones here. Trying to walk it over. It's only going to get a little skinny piece of the top one and roll to the wings. It does leave them sitting 2nd and 3rd. Park has an opportunity to put the pressure on.
Yeah,
Take us through this, John.
She threw a little more weight there, and got a pretty big roll. So now it does create a little danger for Park. She's got to place this rock well. You don't want to hang it out there and leave a double for 3. If it's hanging out, you'd rather leave it short.
Right, you leave it short or you get down to it either way.
Yeah. Get a half under that guard. Looks like they're playing a straight guard right now.
They've had a very good feel for the ice, and you're going to need it now. Crucial shot. Possibly exposing yourself.
A little bit of a flare on that release.
And they are just waiting for it to settle.
That's hanging way out there.
Too late to take a tick, so I'd bring it as tight as you could. It is turning. Is it going to get all the way over? Wow, what a patient call. Oh, I didn't think that had a snowball's chance.
So the question is, can you make a double and get the top red to go over the top of the yellow? It's really close. In order to do that, you have to throw it pretty hard.
Looks like she is going to take the draw to the button.
Draw the button.
That's a big win for Park here. Gonna give her the hammer in 6, assuming it's made. Keeping themselves in the game with some really big shots. So Kaitlyn Laws facing a steal. Up by 2 in the final. Final stone of end number 5.
And she flared that one too. Based on the way these rocks are finishing, I think that's going to be okay. Just the weight now.
This seems to be settling in fine. Maybe a little bit spicy, but no problem. Single point for Kaitlyn Laws.
Beautiful draw.
John, our thanks to you for joining us.
Thanks to you guys.
Absolutely. And our eternal thanks to David Owen.
Rest in peace, buddy.
We'll be back.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Back here, the finals of the Saville Grand Prix. Laws with a 3-stone lead over Park. Park has the hammer in end number 6. Dave Schmel along with Sean Joyce and all of you, thank you so much for joining us here on Curling Stadium. And Sean, a welcome back, and we expect some action here.
Yeah, you have to figure they threw 2 corner guards in the 4th inning. They're still down 3. They've got last rock. They're going to throw 2 corner guards here, and it looks like, you know, just judging from where they put that one, they and the way they played it 2 ends ago, teams have different ways they want to approach the 2 corner guard situation. It looks like the Park team likes to throw them on opposite sides. That's a little trickier on conditions like we have here today. That's so much late movement with those rocks that you can take away both paths to the button when you do that, but you also make it a lot harder to see a double peel made later on.
So here we see the broom go down for that second corner, and they are going to play the split side. Don't make a liar. Oh, they're making a liar out of us.
Well, and that might come down to.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to stick to the corner guard. That was their first thought, and that was their plan initially. Now you saw them all 3 getting involved in the sweeping in the first one. They were maybe trying to get it a little farther over because it is borderline in the path that you would need for the. Well, are they throwing the second corner guard on the same side? Maybe the broom was put down for according to the way she was going to throw it, because she definitely had a set there. That does not look like a lot of ice to try to come around this. Wow.
They are going to come around. Well, they got what they wanted.
Yeah, to a point. I mean, you're coming around your own corner guard. You'd like to be deeper than that because you're trying to score not just 2 here, but keep the 3 alive. And to keep 3 alive, you need to be deep enough with that first one that if you get a chance, you can throw a second one around the same corner. That's not really deep enough. And, by not getting deep enough, they also didn't fully bury it either. Tell to be careful with this. This is only the 5th stone here, so that red corner guard is still in the free guard zone.
On the straight side the whole time. Looks like it's okay. And it is. Nice toss.
Yeah, perfect roll too. There's no free guard zone left anymore, but it's now already, because you let them remove a stone already on the first to the second stones. 3 is tough now. And 2 is going to take some work because they've got 2 buried at the top of the 4-foot. I didn't love the come around on that last shot, and they didn't make it as well as they needed to if they were going to play it. You're better off in the back 12.
So we're gonna open this up some, eh?
The options here they're discussing, it's do you try the triple or do you just hit and roll to another corner guard? And it's really important that they keep the shooter up front. You roll out here, they're going to peel the corner guard, and now you're going to have a hard time scoring 2. So you have to keep the shooter in front somewhere. That's pretty well done. Got the jiggle of the 3 in the house, or all 3 yellow rocks, the 2 in the house. There's a double either way. Might be able to double peel the reds. You'll leave the shooter out there, but that's not bad. Probably the call at this point, even if you just peel the corner guard. Playing the out turn on this so that she'll get that gear effect off the first one she makes contact with. Ideally, they get to the back end of the second one, and then if they can kick it out of play straight sideways, the shooter might actually spill into the rings.
Gonna get the guard.
Just a little too thin. It was close.
Absolutely.
It was always going to be a tough double peel, and by taking the wide one, you're forcing the play back closer to the middle where, as Park plays these shots around here, to try to get 2 or 3 out of this, she's still going to have to group her own stones at some point in time.
Come on down.
Yeah, she's got a nice freeze there.
Not bad at all.
Hard to get rid of that stone, so they'll peel the guard.
So you peel it, assuming it's made. Where do you go next?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? I mean, you don't want to guard your own because it's on the center line. You've got 2 ways to get the double on the yellow. You're not playing them yet because you're going to leave a double back. If you could get that far frozen on the yellow, it would be great, but that's risky. She's talking about a corner guard. That's not a bad call because you've got the nose hit on the red to double the 2 yellows in it. or pardon me, you'd come off the side of the red into the other yellow, and you could end up buried under the corner guard. Freeze on the same line so that the two reds and the yellow are in a straight line. It's hard to kill either red. That's not bad. It's tough.
On the way from Jiyoon Kim. Interesting.
Yeah, it does what they wanted. I mean, I'm not sure she was ever picking that red stone out anyway. It's got to be tempting for Kaitlyn to ignore it. The problem is she's always got the double off the yellows. So you ignore this, she makes the double on the yellows, and she's too buried.
Right.
Like you're actually opening up a shot for your opposition by playing this peel, but you're making sure that you're going to have a chance to play the double when it's eventually left for you. There's no way for Park to make the double on the yellows without leaving the two red stones fairly close together. Ooh, plan B, pick it through the hole.
Ho, 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 ho.
Okay.
How about that?
That's where you turn around to your opposition and say sorry. That's just
filthy.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, not even close to making the shot they were trying, and the miss they ended up with was a great shot. You try to put it right back in the same spot. I mean, the guard's not really in the way to make that shot, but now you're on third's last stone here. I think if you freeze it now, I do think she ignores it.
Be interesting. So on the way from Kim.
This has got a ton of room.
It's going to walk on over. Can he at least get up to the corner?
Yeah, you don't want to bounce off, though, either. It's actually in your way to try to double the yellows. I think you're peeling the guard now. Be tempting to peel it the other way. They must have a preference for the out turn because you want to make sure you clear everything in the house. You're not trying to clip anything on the way by.
Well, they just got really lucky on the out turn.
Yeah. But if you ever hit it thick here, you could clip that yellow out of the side of the 8 foot, and you don't really want to do that either.
So here's Laws. Just on the peel. Just like a banana.
You mean because it's yellow, or?
I just leave it there for you, buddy. Now, Do you like freezing in the pocket there?
Well, that's what I'm wondering about. It's because here's the thing: like, you could come off the yellow into the red and have that red kill the second yellow, but your reds are going to end up corner frozen on each other. What they're looking at right now, and I don't mind this, push the red back on a bit of an angle and sit right on the face of the yellow. Boy, if you could make that, that's great. She might not be able to kill either one of them, and you might be shot rock.
Yeah, so
just tap it just off the nose. So tap it up to the T line and have your shooter roll in front of the Yellowstone. Not an easy shot, but certainly there wouldn't be a double available, and it might even be hard to kill either one of them if you don't leave a port to the one that you're tapping back.
So they just showed the contact point there.
Yeah.
I do love the call.
About 3/4 on the first one and roll to 1/2 to 2/3 in front of the yellow, and it's going to be tough to get either red out. And there won't be a double for sure.
So Youbeen Park and the squad from Seoul, Korea.
Trying to set up the deuce here without the benefit of a guard.
It's going to be some great work if you can do it. The line looks really good for that shot there, Sean. It's coming on down. Does it have enough weight to jiggle it around? Oh, that need to be 5 feet bigger.
Yeah, even a foot, and then at least you're driving it into a pocket. It stayed high enough that a nose hit on the red. I think they both fly.
Yeah, they're going now.
You take it
not...
another 6 to 8 inches deeper, and you're just driving it into a pocket. You can kill one, but I don't think you can ever get them both. Now it's going over the top of the second yellow. She can make this with anywhere from 1/2 a rock to hitting it right on the nose. You don't want to flirt with over curling, because if you leave it in the 8 foot, there's still going to be a chance for 2. But boy, if you could ever hit it right on the nose, she doesn't even have an easy shot to score.
No, I agree.
But 1/2 a rock will do it, and that's the safe way to make it. Make sure the 2 reds go away.
The last from Laws. Should make this no problem. Didn't want to do... got away with it.
Even if you kill that one, I mean, a blank end is not helping Park at this point in time.
Yeah, it's a situation where she has probably taken one no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she'd have blanked it if she'd have had the chance, but I mean, a blanket or a force, it's about the same. Like, you've either got last rock in the 7th still needing 3 to tie, or Laws has last rock in the 7th and you're still down 2. I mean, it's a tough spot either way. Either way, you're going to need to steal twice.
Yeah, except for that opening end, it's been such a tight game. Final stone, the 6th end. Just wants to be on the beak. That's coming down, and that's got no problem there. Single point for Park. She trails by 2. Laws has the hammer in the 7th when we come back to Saville after this.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Twister juice, freshly made your way.
Welcome back. It's the finals of the Saville Grand Prix. Laws up by 2 with the hammer and 7. Park is going to have to do some thievery here, Sean.
She is. She's got a good start to this end. She's got the center guard with the first one on the line. They're going to play the long center guard here, and in between, Kristen Gordon actually slipped just behind the tee line. That's actually a rock that can help the Park team try to get their steal here.
So we just want to get just over. Good pair there. So Laws is going to bring this one all the way in.
This is going to be a little deeper than they would have liked to, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly when it's not on the line like that. Like she can come down and make a play in the rings now, and all the plays in the 4-foot in the rings. There's still no good double on the guards.
And leaving that little bit of an angle means that she's going to be able to generate a pocket.
Really, she could play this from either turn, too.
So Yang on the delivery.
Okay. She did that on the last one too, and I can't let it go twice. If you're watching at home, don't ever do that. That tapping her broom on the ice like that before she puts it down, like that's illegal. It's just flat out illegal, especially if she's anywhere in front of the path of rock. And we're shooting off from the angle, so it's hard to tell. But
she was off the side, but
yeah, well, maybe. I'm not sure she was on the first one. Don't do that. Absolutely do not do that. It's not okay. And it doesn't look better that on both of those rocks, she did it on rocks that needed to curl.
So this one is tight to the centers. Now it is tracking just a touch. Do make him pass the boat. And right up to the face. Now, there's that pocket I said it was coming.
Yeah.
That's where it has to go.
Really doesn't want to move either of the yellow stones, though.
Just settle down. Didn't move him too much, but did move a little bit.
I'm not sure. I don't think they got shot rock, which gives them the chance to just peel the guard.
So is the guard coming back up, or are you going to try another one? Interesting questions.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll freeze the pocket again eventually, but you don't have to do it just yet. You could throw the high guard knowing that they're going to peel it for a couple of yet, and then it becomes that timing question that we talk about, the cat and mouse. Is when do you go in? If we go too early, it's too many chances for the Laws team to blast things out of there. If you come right now and weld it perfectly, the Laws team probably still has to peel the guard, and you can play the rest of the end with one guard, which, you know, that's all you need.
Yep.
Placement has to be a little bit more precise. Eventually, you're going to be down to one guard anyway. When you play the come around, you're only going to have the one guard.
Looks like timeout's been called.
Yeah.
So. Assuming this is Lee.
Yeah, I'm not positive. They did have a coach here too. There was two of them behind the glass, but I haven't seen them play yet. I had to go back to the tape to see whether or not she'd been playing all weekend. So, and with the ball cap, I can't get a very good look at her face to see if it looks like the profile picture that we have on their team lineup. Part of this discussion could be, or maybe should be, and that's why I don't mind this as a timeout now, is when do you make your play? I mean, that's the shot, but do you play it now or do you play two guards first? There's always that problem. We talk about the timing all the time. If you throw one too many guards, Kaitlyn Laws is just going to come around. But what is one too many guards? I have to think she's going to hit at least one more. You can't, I don't think you can hurt yourself playing it now. It's just that you're playing perfect guards for the rest of the end.
Yeah,
I don't mind this, I think.
No, I don't mind it either, so.
Because you just don't know when Kaitlyn's going to switch gears. And she could do it early. Like, we're on to third stones already. You throw one more guard, she could just decide, look, eventually, let's us do it before they do it.
Well, certainly a game of cat and mouse right now. Park trying to manufacture a steal. On the way from Jiyoon Kim.
Got to get by the yellow at the top of the 4 foot. It's not going to. It just doesn't have the weight.
It'll be right there, and yeah. So I think you almost forced Law's hand to go there right now.
Yeah, but she's going to want to go there with enough weight to move something. She needs a way to get that red out. I mean, you can get right to the face and actually miss the shot stone and move the back yellow. But even if she rubs off the other one, as long as she creates a porch so that red one can go, like you could be 3/4 high side, wiggle both yellows. You're still going to stay in front of the red. And you just need, well, another 5 inches of room between those two yellows, room for it to leave the house. This looks like she's throwing at least back line, though. She's going to try to make sure she moves it a lot.
So Negaven settles in. It's her first.
You got to get close to the nose here. If you're on the outside and flop out, you actually give her, she'd still have a pocket.
Good amount of weight past the guard. Did move things.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not seeing any way for Park to get another one in there, and there's an escape route for that red now. And really 2 ways to get at it, because she could play the yellow at the top of the forefoot. Either one of them. She could play either of the yellows at the top of the forefoot onto that red. Looks like Law's shot right now, I think.
I would say it's so. So they're looking to slash this. You could slash them and maybe get all 3 yellows going. Said could, not saying he will.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure it helps you either, though. If you clear out all the yellows, she picks the red off the back of the button, and then you haven't closed down the area at all. What are we at? Third's last stone here.
All right.
I'm looking at red guard into red in the 8-foot and move those. And I'm not talking about big weight. And try to get a good angle on the yellows in the house. You got to move one of them behind the tee line. The 2 yellows that are at the top of the 4-foot. Those are your problem stones.
So just kind of push it into that pocket.
Yeah, red back onto the red in the 8-foot, into the kind of the pocket of the 2 yellows. Try to push something behind the tee line and leave another rock up in the top of the 4-foot. You could play this shot. The problem is your shooter's rolling away to where it's not going to be usable at all if it even stays in play. And there's too much danger.
Gone if you...
Yeah, you're gonna. I don't think there's a way you can pick this yellow between the other 2 yellows onto the red. Now, if there is, well, then that's a great shot. I'm not sure there's room. It's hard to, on a 2-dimensional screen. I can't move my chair over far enough to tell if there's room there. But if you come off one yellow or the other, you're still going to end up with the yellow that you're raising in is going to be corner frozen on the red, which isn't better.
So big weight here from Kim. On and off. It must be really close. Gonna get it, slash it, and just stuff it right there.
Yeah, still corner frozen though. I'm not sure that's better. She's going to pick the red out of the back of the button, and what do you do?
I think.
She made what she called. I'm just not sure she got anything out of it, really. She's actually going to peel the guard. I guess there's enough biters around.
And if you do peel the guard, I think likely, I don't know, do you replace it or come down on top and give her something to run with your last?
Yeah, I think you have to come in somehow or another, because you don't really have a shot right now to get shot rock. Unless you think you could pick it with quiet weight, but then you're leaving an open shot to the shot stone.
Marcel taking a look through the glass with the binoculars. It's on the way from Negaven.
Either way, Laws is going to play the straight peel and force the Park team into making something tough. I'm still back to thinking you have to move. Now, it's easier now because you're not playing a double tap, but I like the tap on the red so that your nose on that yellow and try to split those 2 enough to leave a pocket at the back of the button. Doesn't even matter who shot at this point in time. And you might be able to make that straight coming around on the in-turn, but it's a much tougher shot, or at least it's a tougher looking shot. I like it with the tap. That's what they're looking at. It's not critical that you move the yellow far enough to be shot right now, but you need to get it fully behind the tee line. And then kind of leave the two reds lined up. So the one you're throwing and the one you're tapping up, you want them in a straight line so that you've got the double tap to the button on the next one.
Well, we've just made ourselves a great big if sandwich.
Yeah, well, I don't think you want to. Yeah, you got to be careful not to move that Yellowstone too far. If you leave a port, she's going to play the double on the two reds. She might be able to get the triple. That won't matter as much as if she can get. So the one that you're tapping up to the yellow, the pocket behind it needs to be tight enough that she can't ever wiggle that through.
Gotcha.
She's got to move two. She's probably looking for about back 8 foot weight out of her hand.
Youbeen Park with her first. Needs to get up to nose. You got to get all the way up there. You got it. How far is it going to move it? Okay. Seemed a little strong to me.
Yeah, maybe a little too far. They kind of got caught. They were sweeping early for line, and it really didn't ever need to be held straight. Had to carve it a bit at the end. And I mean, every brushstroke adds a little bit of the weight. The angle's not great for her because there's no chance it's jamming on the yellow. That's the problem. She could maybe triple the reds. Even if she dead jams it on something at the back, that Yellowstone at the back of the button is still going to be there.
Yeah, you might hit the back one off your yellow in the back, but who cares?
Yeah, you're not worried about that one.
So Kaitlyn Laws.
She does have to hit it pretty close to the nose, so you're going to have this Yellowstone to come around and maybe freeze that stone at the back of the button. So she should still have something. Just hard to think that, you tap that a little bit less and Kaitlyn could make something for you here, because I don't think there'd be a way to get that middle red out.
On the weight, not even a brush to this yet. Now trying to walk it over.
Yeah, she
looks
hits it on the
like
high.
it's okay. Not at 1-2. Stuffs the one in the back. Well, Park's going to have an opportunity to lie too.
Well, she does, but she'd have to move that Yellowstone. I don't know if she wants to throw it that heavy. You freeze the pocket, you're probably guaranteed to steal, because I think you're on the pin and there's just no way to move it. If you move the yellow, you're going to create enough space to move the red. You just absolutely weld this on, and you can probably put the point on the board. In fact, Kaitlyn might not even throw it. She might just kick it into the boards, not risk giving up two.
Well, it's been great action all weekend, and we've been treated to good ones today. This is no exception. Youbeen Park needs to lock one on. Get out the super glue.
Not really sweeping in front of that rock at all right now. That's not doing anything. It's going to be all over the front.
And that's a rough one there. Laws does hit one. Has a quiet weight shot for 3, maybe 4. or just a little tap up for 2, but you could risk you risk a steal that way.
Well, I mean, you're probably not going to throw it heavy enough for that. I think you're just throwing the in turn draw. I mean, if you get 2, you're 4 up. That's plenty.
See a good half of it.
You do, but as soon as you throw enough weight to kill it, there's always the risk if it gets onto that redstone. Granted, you'd have to hit it pretty thick before. Yeah, pretty hard to hurt yourself, I think.
You can just pick it for 3.
Yeah. Well, and even with this ice and the quiet weight, that's probably just what she's looking at. Just make it go away. Yeah, the red one on the 12-foot's high enough. You'd have to hit that almost on the nose to hurt yourself. So, yeah, you're pretty safe with this. My gut is that I just don't like throwing extra weight when you're already sitting 1, but...
So Kaitlyn Laws up by 2 with 1 in her pocket. Looking for 3 and possibly the game. Final stone of the 7th. On the curl side now, trying to bring it up. Bring it up. Are we there? You got a sliver of it. And you got plenty, and that is 2 all day.
It's enough for 2.
We have a
which is enough for a 4-point lead, which is... There's going to be a discussion. Before she threw that, I was noticing that looks like they're going to...
We'll be back after this on Curling Stadium.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Owen, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Back here at the Saville Grand Prix. 4-point lead for Laws. Park is going to take a stab at making something happen here. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us here on Curling Stadium. Stay with us all season long. We got so many great tournaments planned for you.
I thought the Laws team might throw the first one through, and after they stop in the back of the 4-foot, they might wish they had. I wouldn't be totally shocked to see her rip that stone out on the next one. It's not helping you back there, and you really didn't need rocks in play here either. With 3, I get it. You might play 1 in. You're trying to get them to group rocks. You don't ever need them to group rocks when they have to score 4 to tie.
Might be a good time for everybody's favorite shot, the Peel of Shame. We actually have a stone that says that at our curling club. It's a number 2 stone.
Of course.
Yep. We don't see that a whole lot in the spiels we call.
Yeah, no. Well, it's mainly the reason we don't see it a lot is it's uncharacteristic to see. We see the top leads in the game. They don't make mistakes like this very often.
And it remains, well, maybe not shameful, but disappointing.
It's not helping you back there. It can only help Park back there. To score 3, you kind of need 2 guards. If you're going to score 4, you need a break somewhere, or perhaps a third rock to work with. Well, that rock behind the T line is the third rock to work with.
Right.
You can freeze to that at some point in time, and in trying to blast it out, if you ever squeeze it in behind a guard, they're going to need it. You know, you can almost score 3 in the 5 rock free guard zone just by making 8 perfect shots, because you've got your 2 corner guards to start with. So there's a chance. You've always got a chance to score 3. To get the 4th, you need some kind of a miscue somewhere. So a rock like that something could get jammed on, or you could freeze it and they could squeeze it out. That's something that might help you. So they got one more chance to peel it out, and then she's trying to score 4 with only 2 guards to work with. That's a pretty tall order.
Do you think we could get Emma Miscue here in time? I'll show myself out. So looking to peel this one out now. That's going to go away.
So now all you can do is come around. You want to come around deep on this one.
It's going to come around. It's not particularly deep.
Nope.
So now after making sure that there's the right number of rocks in the barn.
Well, it's pretty tough for Park now. They need a complete miss at some point in the time just to have a chance to ever sit 3, and you're still going to probably need a half shot or something, depending on how well you get everything placed.
Making the straight peel there. Gonna put one more up.
Yeah, you can probably throw 1 more. I don't think you can throw 2. Throw 1, Laws will peel it again. You come around the other guard, and then if I'm Laws, I'm peeling the guard towards the stone in the 12-foot. And then you got nowhere to hide. Kind of need her to nose hit this peel and stuff the one in the rings to have a chance at this point.
Well, put me in, Coach. I'm sure I can pull that off.
Well, if she does it here, you're going to see a lot of comments right away about the announcer's jinx. But they're cleaning it, so I think she's good here.
So now no choice but to come in.
Yeah.
Comes in under cover, so it is a good throw, but
Yeah. Now you peel the guard either towards the red or it does. I mean, not that it matters. If you peel it towards that red and 12-foot, you happen to get them both. It's over one shot earlier. That's all. You peel the guard. They can't throw another guard. They've got 2 in the house and they've got 3 left to throw. But if they throw another guard, you hit one of the rocks in the rings, and they now can never sit 4. So everything has to come into the rings from now on. So it'll be 3 more shots or 2 more shots. You just have to make one go away each time.
Oh, just underneath of it.
That could have made it one less shot had to be played, but that's it. Did she call a guard? You can't throw a guard.
3 rocks left.
Yeah, but you've only got 2 in the house.
Right.
And you can't guard both of them. So if you throw a guard, she makes the open hit and the game's over. You have to come in.
Leave it tight and splittable. I'm trying to find the pony. There's a pony someplace. Well, this is decidedly in the rings.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And it's absolutely fine that she lined them up too, because, the wider you make the target, we already saw one fluke shot in this game. So make her hit 1 stone, essentially.
So Kaitlyn Laws heading on down, trying to just make a red go away.
Yeah, if she can make the double, she won't even have to throw her last one. Even if she jams this one, Park can come around it again, but that red on the other side's always going to be wide open.
On the way down. Gonna get the one. Stuff it there, so we're gonna throw another one. Now, right, you kind of...
Yeah, be careful. I mean, you'd hate to throw this in a spot where you can't get the yellow out and then have her somehow, by some freak of nature, miss that open hit on the side and put this in a spot where you can't get the yellow out. Like this just has to be tricky, and she's just going to go hit the open one. So don't try to make this so cute that you can't get the yellow out.
There's nothing easy about trying to score 4 in this situation now.
No, you could come right around to the back 8-foot too. She's still going to have to miss a wide open shot. That's the only way you get to throw your last one. Let's not make you make this one too cute. If you freeze this on 3/4, she doesn't even have to. She could miss and you still don't have a shot.
Well, heavy for sure.
That's fine.
And get a little kiss, split them up. Kaitlyn Laws will be throwing.
Yeah, she's going to throw out the open one all day. Doesn't really matter which one. You've got to completely miss it for her to even have a shot to throw.
So Kaitlyn Laws and her squad from Winnipeg looking to seal the deal here. Her final stone of the 8th end. Brooms down, just a heavy clean. Looks like we got no problem here. And that'll be a win for Kaitlyn Laws. They are the winners of the Saville Grand Prix over Youbeen Park. And man, except for that first end, it was really a nip and tuck game there, Sean.
Well, even the first two, like Laws had the Park team in trouble for both of the first two ends, really. And you think back, Park had to make an outstanding draw with her final stone in two to prevent, like, she could have been down 5-0 after two. She made a great draw to the back of the forefoot to even get a single point. After that, they played a lot better. The game was a lot tighter. There were some good angles. I mean, the scoreboard, it looks a little bit more lopsided than the last 6 ends were, for sure. But it was because the Laws team came out and had such a dominant first 2 ends. They had all the pressure on this Park team and capitalized with 3 in the first, and the force in the second that could have just as easily been a steal at 2.
And they're going to get their quick photo out on the ice. Marcel Ruck saying, I was just here for the picture. Lots of smiles all around.
We're never going to find out if Kristen Gordon's shirt says McEwish. And Selena Negavan throwing the jacket on for the first time. She's been wearing the winter coat for 2 weeks here. Oh, we didn't all get the right jacket on.
All right, here we go.
And the alternate didn't bring her jacket.
So, thank you very much, and congratulations to Team Laws. They are the winners of the Saville Grand Prix. So, from all of us here at Curling Zone, Sean Joyce, Connor Simpson, Kaylee on the production, I'm Dave Schmel. Thank you for joining us.
The next practice session, they're going to have to choreograph the team picture a little better.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.